Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annalise and I thought it would be nice to do a rating of all my Zara fragrances. I have some, I don't have that many, but the ones that I have, I would love to talk to you about them because I do feel like Zara fragrances have a bit of a bad reputation and I don't really agree with that. Actually, I don't agree with that at all. It kind of depends on what fragrance by Zara that you are trying out, because some of them are not the best quality wise and others are great, like seriously great. So yeah, let's talk about that. So Zara fragrances, basically they have their own, like the super cheap fragrances. Those are the ones that actually gave Zara a bad reputation because they don't really last. And that is kind of true. So you know the little bottles, and well, they have bigger ones too, but those typical see-through, no, they're not all see-through, but they don't really have, they never have a special bottle or anything. And yeah, those are the ones that Zara's always had, as far as I know. And I agree, they do not project, they do not last. Those aren't the best ones. However, Zara came out with actually two other types of fragrances. One is also their own, but like taken up the next level. Like they finally understood the assignment and they powered those fragrances up, and they are really, really good. And they're also dupes, by the way. I will talk to you about that later. And then the third like category of fragrances are the ones in collaboration with Jo Malone, who is the founder of Jo Malone Fragrances. However, she does not own that company anymore. She sold it when she thought she was going to die, basically. She was sick, and actually she sold it. She got better. That's good news. And she started a new company called Jo Loves. But anyway, Jo Malone, so not the company, the person, collaborates with Zara quite frequently, and then they bring out these collections that are really, really good and interesting. And yeah, so those Jo Malone collaborations and also the amped up Zara fragrances by Zara itself, those are actually not, they don't deserve the bad rep of Zara fragrances don't last. They last. By the way, I don't know if you can hear this, but I do have a bit of a cold, so my nose is all clogged up and I might sound a bit nasal. And it kind of sucks because I want to wear fragrances, but today I'm actually going fragrance free just to give my nose a bit rest. But I will sniff the fragrances that I will be talking about, obviously. So let's just start with some of those OG Zara fragrances that I talked about, you know, the really cheap ones, the super simple ones. And the first one I want to talk to you about is Applejuice. So Applejuice is a really fresh and citrusy scent. To me, this is a perfect scent for the gym because it's so fresh. And if I were to go to the gym, I would wear this one. I don't really smell apple, to be honest. I smell more of a limey, just a fresh lime. It's nice, it's pleasant. Does it last? Not really. Have to be honest, those are the ones that I was talking about, you know, that I get the bad reputation of they don't last. But you know, it's just a tiny one. So if you're going to the gym, you can just spritz this on, and by the time you're finished with your workout, you know, the scent will probably have faded, but who really cares, right? And it's a really nice scent. So I'm going to rate this a 7 out of 10. By the way, the ratings that I'm giving aren't objective at all. I'm giving them a rating based on how I feel about them. So not only the quality or the longevity, but also just, you know, my opinion on the fragrance itself. So of course, if I would rate one of these fragrances like a 5 out of 10, it might be a 10 out of 10 for you and vice versa. So just keep that in mind. Oh, I forgot to say, this is actually a dupe for Chanel's Chance Eau Tendre, which I have never smelled, so I cannot say if that is true or not. But if you like that fragrance and you just don't want to spend the bucks, because I've heard that they don't really last long either, you know, the Chanel ones, then you can give this one a try, and it's small enough to fit in a purse or something, so you can reapply if you don't think the lasting power is great. But yeah, Applejuice. In that same category, I'm going to talk about Violet Blossom. Now, this one I love. It's so, it's like a sweet floral. It's, I don't know what it is, but this is so comforting. Does it smell generic? Yes. However, I don't have a problem with that at all. I feel like generic is generic for a reason, because a lot of people like that scent, you know, that's what makes something generic in my eyes. So it doesn't have a super unique scent. However, it's so nice. It's, oh, I love it. I paid €7 for this little bottle. So yeah, it's super nice. It's just warm, it's inviting, it's just, it's inoffensive. And I do think this is a crowd-pleasing scent. Actually, when I bought it at Zara's, I couldn't wait, and I spritzed it on, and later, like an hour later or so, me and my boyfriend met up, and he was like, the one you're wearing today is really good. And he doesn't often say that. And I was wearing a super cheap one. I paid €7 for this, which is about like $8. So does it last? It's okay. It lasts okay. It's not too bad, I have to say. I've had Zara fragrances that lasted way less than this one, but it's not a powerhouse either. So I think it's fine. I think you can get around 4, maybe 5 hours out of this, something like that. But I love the scent, so I don't care if I have to reapply. By the way, I've been seeing a lot of posts about this one being a dupe for Alien. It is absolutely not a dupe for Alien. It doesn't even come close. It is not Alien. I'm sorry. Maybe it's the purple of the box or something that makes people think of Alien, but this is not a dupe for that one at all. Violet Blossom, I will rate this one. You know what? The scent in itself, I'm actually going to rate I think I'm going to give it a 9. Yeah, the scent itself is a 9 for me. I really think it's so comforting. The quality, however, I would give a 7 out of 10. Next one is Zara's Deep Garden. Okay, this is a dupe for Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. And actually, I think it reminds me more of Good Girl Légère, because it is more fresh. It is really close to Good Girl, absolutely. However, the OG Good Girl has a little bit more oomph, if you know what I mean. Like, it's more like, wow. And this one comes really close. It's just a little bit fresher, a little bit lighter, a little bit flattened down, but still a good dupe. It's definitely a dupe. Yeah. And this one also needs a bit of reapplying throughout the day. However, again, you know, these are the tiny bottles. These ones I don't really mind bringing with me in my purse. And it's not too bad either. I think I get about, also 4 or 5 hours out of this. So I'm not mad. Also paid it €7, $8. I really like this one. I actually give it I'm a Good Girl fan, so I give the scent itself also a 9, like Violet Blossom. And the quality, actually the same, also a 7 out of 10. So Deep Garden by Zara. Actually, the Deep Garden, now I remember, I bought it in a duo pack and it came together with Lightly Bloom. This one is just a freshie, period. It smells like a very airy, light and clean scent. It slightly reminds me of like white bed sheets that were washed and have dried in the garden when it's spring, you know, and you bring them in and then you put them on the bed and you smell that freshness, that airiness. That is a bit what this one reminds me of. It's nice. It's very pleasant. Is it super original? No, but if you're like, I just want to smell fresh and clean and I don't want too many floral notes or gourmand notes. I don't like that. I just want to have a fresh scent. This is perfect. Lightly Bloom. Lightly Bloom, I will give you I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Scent and quality, because no, you know what? The quality might be slightly lighter than the other ones. So maybe quality a 6 out of 10, scent in itself a 7 out of 10. The next one is Zara's Orchid. This is a dupe for Victoria's Secret Bombshell. And to be honest, I'm not a fan of this one. I don't know why I bought it. It was just like an impulse buy while I was waiting at the registry. It has a bit of a sharp note in it that I don't really like. That, you know, it reminds me a little bit of a cheap home freshener. But it also has something that I do like. And the thing that I do like is probably why I bought it at the time. I've had this for years. But the sharp notes, like the synthetic sharp note, is not really my thing. So I have to be honest, not my favorite. Again, this is just personal. This is just my taste. You might love it. I don't know. But to me, I'm actually going to rate this a 5 out of 10 just because I don't really see myself wearing it anymore. And then the last one from this type of fragrances, you know, this category of the Zara fragrances is Zara's Twilight Mauve. This is supposed to be a dupe for Be Delicious by DKNY. I don't think it's an exact dupe. No, I think Be Delicious is, that one actually gave me back in the day, it gave me this, I love it kind of feeling. I don't have that anymore because I've worn it when I was a teenager and I'm just kind of over it. But this one does not give me that vibe at all. It's a little boring, to be honest. I'm not loving it. I think I actually kept this one in my car. By the way, I got this one before I got into fragrances. So back then I wasn't thinking about it at all. I just bought it because it was cheap and I needed something at that moment. So I just left it in my car kind of as a emergency fragrance, you know. I don't know if you guys do that because you never know when you're gonna need some extra fragrance. But yeah, no, I'm not really a fan. I'm gonna give this the same rating as the Orchid one, which is a 5 out of 10. Okay, so now we're getting into another category of Zara fragrances, which is the category I talked about that is Zara. It's not a collaboration with Jo Malone or anyone else. It's just Zara, as far as I know. But they have amped it up. The quality is so much better. The longevity is great on some of these. And that is, I'm just going to call them the chapter fragrances. They have different chapters. I don't remember which one was which chapter, but I think they have 4 chapters of this type of fragrance. Let me just show you the bottles. You know, these. Maybe you already saw some videos on these. And there are also dupes. And I have some of them, so let's check them out. The first one is my Golden Decade. I talked about this one in my What to Wear for Christmas fragrance video I uploaded about a week ago or so. And this one, oh, I love it so much. I've actually made a little dent. I haven't been using fragrances that long, only like 6 weeks or so, so I haven't made many dents yet. But this one is definitely a favorite. It is a dupe for YSL's Libre Intense. And it really smells like that. I love it. And the longevity and the projection on this one is great. Seriously, it's really, really great. It actually, it's better than a lot of designer fragrances. Yeah, I would dare to say that. Is it better than the actual Libre Intense? Probably not, but it's still really great. I really, really like this one. I don't know if you can still get it. I think you can, actually, because they released several of these chapter fragrances, and I feel like they've already discontinued quite a bunch of them, but they've kept the bestsellers, I think, and Golden Decade is one of them. I love it. Oh, let me just sniff it one more time. You know what? This is gonna be my scent of the day. So yeah, Golden Decade, I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10. Next one in the same category is Sublime Epoque. This one is a dupe for Armani's My Way. It smells really nice. I love the orange blossom. I think it gives a bit of a candy-like scent, but if you know My Way, you know how this smells, so it's really a dupe. It's really, really close. Maybe if I had both and I would, smell them side by side, I might find some differences. I'm not gonna claim that there are zero differences, but honestly, if you wear this, people are gonna be like, oh, are you wearing My Way? And that's the same with the other dupes, by the way, most of them. So this is a dupe for Armani's My Way. And it really smells like that. It's really a close dupe. Zara is good when it comes to dupes. Not all of them. Like I said, the Twilight Mauve one, I don't think is a good dupe for Be Delicious. But Sublime Epoque is really close to Armani My Way. So if you like that one, you're gonna really like this one. And also projects really well. It lasts a bit less long than the Golden Decade. However, it still lasts a pretty long time. I would say around, let me just think, like 6 hours or so, which I'm down with. I paid 18 euros for this bottle, which is like $20 US probably. Same for this one. So it's so cheap. It's 80 ml and they are just great. So I really like this one. I'm rating this one an 8 out of 10. Next up, we have Majestic Opulence, which is a dupe for La Vie est Belle Intensement by Lancôme. And I'm not the biggest La Vie est Belle fan, so it smells nice. There's nothing wrong with this fragrance. To me, it's just not my all-time favorite or anything. I can wear this. I have worn it actually a couple of times, as you can see. I think I was trying to get into it more, but even though it's pleasant, not my favorite. But if you like La Vie est Belle, you're gonna like this one. And again, quality-wise, projection, same as the other ones. Really good, just like a designer fragrance. So I'm going to rate the quality of this one. I'm gonna rate it like a 7.5, but the scent in itself, because I'm just not a fan of that scent profile, I'm going to give the scent in itself a 6 out of 10. Last one that I have in that category is Rose Gourmand. I bought the 30 ml bottle instead of the 80 ml. Let me just show you side by side, because this one is a powerhouse, okay? And did you hear how much emphasis I put on that of powerhouse? That's because this is an actual powerhouse, okay? I think of all my fragrances, this one might be the longest lasting one. And I have some designer fragrances as well. I don't have niche yet, but this is crazy. I spritz this 2 times in the morning, and when I go to bed that same night, and I haven't, reapplied or did anything, I didn't use Vaseline before I spritzed it on or anything. 2 spritzes, when I go to bed at night, I can still smell it. It's really, really strong. Oh, by the way, this is a dupe for Mancera's Roses Vanille, I think. Roses Vanille, is that right? Am I saying that right? Roses Vanille. Or it also smells like Intense Café by Montal. Because Intense Café and Roses Vanille already are pretty similar. This one is equally similar. It's so strong. It's great. So this is definitely a compliment getter. However, please, for the love of God, do not overspray this one. Don't tell me I didn't warn you, okay? I'm warning you right now. Do not overspray. So this 30 ml bottle is gonna last me for a really long time. I know that already. I've made a really small dent. But this one is great, and I'm gonna use it for date nights probably. So I am going to rate this one, quality and scent, an 8.5. You know what? Quality is a 10. That's right, it's a 10. Scent itself, 8.5. In this category, by the way, I also had the Red Temptation one, which is the famous dupe for Baccarat Rouge. Well, not the famous dupe. There are many dupes like Cloud and so many. But Red Temptation is quite popular. However, I decluttered that one because I do not like the scent profile of Baccarat Rouge at all. I don't know what the deal is. And I thought Red Temptation also had that like mossy, dirty note. So I spritzed it on this one time and I was like, okay, let's see what the deal is. And I actually got a compliment on it. So I was like, okay, apparently, the hype is real. But then later I was at home. No, I was in my car driving home and I was like, I really want to take a shower. And then I was at home and I was like, oof, I'm getting wafts of this fragrance and I kind of want to wash it off. So that's what I did. I took a shower, washed it off, and then I just realized, okay, it's not for me. It's just really not my thing. So I decluttered it. I sold it on Vinted. It's gone. Okay, I think we have 2 more to go. So the first one I actually talked about in my What to Wear for Christmas video, which is Ebony Wood. This is a collaboration with Jo Malone, okay? So I don't know, it's called Emotions. This collaboration line with Jo Malone is called Emotions. They had about, 8 or 10 in this line, and I only have Ebony Wood. It was the only one that I really liked enough to buy, but the other ones are nice too. They are all very different, but Ebony Wood is so unique. It's so special. Like I said in my other video, this to me, I think it smells like a type of cherry potpourri, which makes it a little bit fruity as opposed to just woody, because I don't like too woody scents. And yeah, I think it's pretty. I think it is only for winter though, in my opinion. Like, it has to be quite cold for this to really shine. It's so nice. It's really nice. Oh, and it lasts a really long time. This one is quality-wise really, really good. So I'm going to rate it an 8.5. And then lastly, we have Fashionably London. This was also a collaboration with Jo Malone. Fashionably London is reminiscent of Delina. It is not a dupe. It has very similar notes that Delina has, but Delina has like extra notes on top of that. Like, what is it, raspberry or something like that? This one does not have that. It's a very dry, harsh rose. But remember when I said that this one projected like a beast? This one does the same, okay? Do not overspray this one. I have made that mistake, and to be honest, I was like, ooh, I kind of wanted to take my sweater off, not because it doesn't smell good, because it does. It's a really nice scent. I got a compliment that day. But yeah, it's so strong. And I think if you overspray, you're gonna be turned off by it, which I kind of had. However, in a lighter form, so you should just spray it like this. Spritz, and then kind of go like this, and I think that would be enough already. Even if you're an oversprayer, please don't overspray this one. It actually performs like those 80s perfumes where you just had to spritz it and then walk through it and that was enough. This one is the same. Don't overspray it. I warned you, do not overspray it. Anyway, this is a really nice scent. Like I said, I got a compliment that day when I wore it. I've worn it like, I think on 3 different occasions, so I've made this tiny dent. Quality-wise, again, for the projection and longevity, I'm going to give this a 10. It's just fantastic. The scent in itself, I like it. I don't love it. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like, and if you want to comment, that would be great. I love reading your comments. I love hearing what Zara fragrances you like, which ones do last or don't last, or all of that. I would love to read it. I want to comment back on every comment that I get. So thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.